Welcome to this first installment of our Get to Know Your Local Historical Society series. Today, we will be uncovering the many wonders of the Historical Society of Princeton.
The Historical Society of Princeton has been around for a while. We were founded in 1938. We're located on Quaker Road in Princeton at the Updike Farmstead. It's a 6-acre property. Within the Historical Society, the people that use our resources it's a wide mix. There are people looking into the history of their families. There are authors who are looking for materials for books they're reading. There are people that are just interested in the history of their home because they live in Princeton and they know they have an older home and they want to know the story behind it, who lived there and so forth. Princeton is unique because it has so much history. It is not just the Revolutionary War, but also the Civil War. Also, people think of Woodrow Wilson and Albert Einstein, but there's things that have happened in every generation, and we're the repository for a lot of that history. On our website, which is princetonhistory.org. Under the research tab, you'll see a lot of information, and on the search bar, you'll put in a particular topic, and you'll see a list of whatever manuscripts we have, and so on and so forth, as well as historic photographs that we've been able to digitize. But in addition to that, we have various bibliographies that we have put together for subjects that people have asked about over the years, or also because we've had exhibitions on them over the years. We've had exhibitions in the past on the Italian-American community in Princeton, the African-American community in Princeton, the Jewish community in Princeton. We've had exhibits on the school system in Princeton, the Great Depression in Princeton. We've had, and as a result of that, we've put together bibliographies. But in addition to that, we can always put together if someone's looking for a just list of sources that we have on a particular topic or subject, they could just email us and we'll put a list together and get it back out to them. In 1981, there was an architectural survey of Princeton, and they did a survey. They examined the architectural significance of every street in Princeton at the time, and most of the individual homes and houses that were in existence at that time. So I'll be able to, someone will say, hey, I just moved into the area. Can you tell me the history of my house? And I'll be able to say, okay, it was built at such and such a date, and provide them with the information from the architectural report. One of the manuscripts we have in our collection is the Stockton family papers. Last summer, there was an author that was doing the history of her community in California. Within the Stockton family papers are the papers of Commodore Robert Stockton, who served in California during the Mexican War and had several land holdings, and we had several deeds that we could provide them with that were in his papers. Now, you wouldn't think that someone who was doing research in California would find resources in New Jersey, yet there you are. So, once we know exactly what you're looking for, we could say, okay, this is going to be useful to you. This is going to be useful. On our digital database, under the research tab, it's keyword searchable. In our collection, we have 1,000 manuscripts, and they're all listed on our website. And there'll be a description of what's in those manuscripts, And in that brief description, you could determine whether or not that's going to be something that's going to be helpful to you in your research. In addition to that, we have several thousand images that are digitized, and we have secondary files on various topics. So I would say first, for someone who is looking to do research, first go to our website and then send us an email at research@princetonhistory.org. There's also a research inquiry form that's available on our website that we would ask you to fill out. That'll come into our offices, and then we'll send out a list of sources. And in some cases where we don't have information, we may be able to suggest other organizations that may have information that might be useful. If you go onto our website, one of the things that we also offer are walking tours of Princeton. And there is one on the Stony Brook community and that area around the Quaker Meeting House. There's one on the eating clubs of Princeton. There's one through the Witherspoon-Jackson neighborhood of Princeton. Currently, right now, we have a walking tour that just started this summer. It's the Oppenheimer walking tour. And we basically go through those sites that Robert Oppenheimer, when he was the head of the IAS in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, would have frequented. Oh, wow. There's a lot of stuff. Like I said, we have the Stockton family papers. We have the Olden family papers because during the Civil War, Governor, I believe his name was Charles Olden, was the governor of New Jersey, and there's a lot of information relating to New Jersey in the Civil War. We have one of Albert Einstein's pipes. We have the furniture from his home. For anyone interested in presidential history, there's a picture we have of then President Theodore Roosevelt visiting Princeton University, and he's in a carriage with his wife, along with the president of Princeton University, Woodrow Wilson, and his wife. And later on, the two men ran against each other for president, but there's very few pictures of them together. Our offices are open Monday through Friday for research appointments. What I would suggest they do is, number one, look through our website, see what sources we have available, and then send an email to research@princetonhistory.org and say, I'm looking to research X. Can you please tell me what resources you have? And from there, we'll send an email out to you with a list of sources. Now, there may be manuscripts that they need to go through, in which case we would just set up a research appointment for them to come in and go through them.